Oh, okay, that's where it is. Mm. What's going on? What's going on? We in here. Let's see how y'all can hear me. Where my phone at? See if y'all can hear me right. We are live. We are live. We on a panel. So you can see it. Oh, you can't see it. Oh my God.
I got a rebuttal too. Marriage in Islam has not slowed down at all. I got a rebuttal too. No, it actually hasn't. Statistically, so what is happening is there are multiple facet uh, things happening here at the same time because along with birth rates being down, the reason for that, economy is much more money to own like homes, own cars is much way more than it was back when our parents were growing up or their parents were growing up. So there's a lot of different factors going into what is being discussed. So we can't just try to just, be so worried about one. We have to look at the whole picture. There's right now, if you're a woman, black woman, you are okay to date black men. That there's no astronomic number being happening in the black community that is just saying black women are being just auctioned off or unalived off. Like that's not a real thing. So there are other factors going to that. Like every situation has its own. That's why every case is different. If you handle law, if you handle actual situations instead of just trying to look at the big picture of it, look at the individual cases. Like we have work to do, real work to do. If you really want to do that and do the work for that, then you can continue those endeavors. But getting on a panel and discussing like there's just this huge epidemic happening, it's not that. Like we have to be. That's not minimizing it. That's not minimizing it. These are each their own. That's amplifying it. Because if you're not going to pay attention and really be into a case, like if you're a lawyer and you have a case and the guy's trying to get off of maybe a SA charge, maybe it's a false accused. He's saying it's false accused, but if you're a lawyer, you're worried about oh. Uh, a lot of stuff is unreported. Oh, we don't, da, 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 da. Is he guilty? Like you're not going to be able to perform correctly. You're not going to be able to do your job correctly in that position as his counsel, right? So you are not a person that can actually do anything to what you're talking about. Okay, so you have to no. You have to listen. You need to listen. I'm not. No, it's not minimizing it. I want you to actually be effective in what you're doing, and you're not being that. You're not being that. No, you're just looking at a stat number. You're looking at a stat number. You're not actually talking to people. You're not a therapist. You're not going after couples that are having issues. You're not coming for an angle. Well, I want to at least talk to these couples and see what's really going on in these people's lives that's having this Is it really poverty? Let's really do a study together. Is it really poverty? Is it really ego? Is it really because they're inherently black and it's because they're black? Like let's actually do the work. It's no. Let's not look at a stat sheet. Let's not look at a stat sheet. Let's get on the field. Let's get in the game. Because y'all not in the game. Y'all looking from the stands. Y'all like commentators. Y'all like Skip Bayless. Just yap, yap, yap. Yap, yap, yap. That's what y'all sound like to us, to real problem solvers. That's what you sound like. Nah, you ain't figured it out. And now you're gonna tell me I don't care. You need to study it. You coming from a position as if you have the solutions and you're not even providing any. You're not doing anything but yapping like a female, bro. You yapping like a primatal female that don't even know shit. Like you don't even know what you're talking about. You just backing somebody else that is going over off of stat data that we know is skewed, that we know is unreported, that we know is skewed, instead of actually going in the community. If you don't participate in your community, if have you don't have an actual standing. Can I ask a can I ask a youthful female woman, a youthful woman, a young woman about her thoughts of you? So how many? Let me ask you a question. That's not the same when they date in other races. Is that the same when they date in white women? us having these discussions. Just because it's online, it don't matter. During COVID, we did everything online. It doesn't matter. If you're trying to deflect and you're like, yeah, nigga, I ain't like you bitch ass niggas. I really be in the field. You're not doing shit. We don't do that at the same rate when it comes to any other race. That has nothing to do with that. Well, all I've heard you do is talk. You don't do shit. What do you? Nobody asked anybody to care. The solution is this. You asked what the solution is, right? No, I didn't ask what the solution is. I said you don't have any solutions. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They have a solution. I guarantee our solutions are the same. I promise you. But the first problem is we don't recognize that it's a problem. You saying it's not a big problem and it has to, well, what's the solution? That don't make sense. If you don't believe you're sick, why would you take the medicine? No, I said the solution. I said actually get involved in your communities, trying to actually figuring out. Yes, it is a solution. If you're someone who is talking to couples, if you're someone who's talking to your brother, if you're someone who's talking to your sister, if you're someone that's actually checking on your friend and you're checking on your friend's relationship, you are slow. Yeah, y'all dumbasses. Dumbasses. You niggas is dumb. Talking about solutions. Talking about that's the solution. I'm talking about what? That nigga like guards and gonna educate somebody in the community. That nigga can't fucking count to three. Like, how you gonna educate somebody when all they nigga do is look up cursory fucking Google search? The nigga like, how are you this shit's stupid. You don't know nothing. That's what rape is. You don't know. Oh, before I respond, I just want to be clear about the rules and regulations here. If a person is speaking, I noticed that there's a couple of people that talks over the individual that's supposed to have a platform. So I'm just trying to understand the ground rules here before I respond, because I don't want to disrespect anyone, but I'm hoping that I can get my thoughts out with being interrupted. I don't know if that's the regular rules and regulations here to debate while a person speaking or not. I'm just asking to confirm that. Nothing, bro. Talk about resolutions. Get into the mind of these people. I believe that marriage is something that man didn't invent. It just happened to be a part of something that we experienced. So I don't think that by no sense of the word would it be ended. Women in society based upon a number of things. So you gotta crash out, because if you don't crash out, people ain't gonna remember you. There's equality. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing about the algorithm. But you gotta do it in a way. That I do. I travel. You gotta do it in a way that makes people mad. Like, look at this. I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it. Stats and information that are not made record. Stats change. Stats aren't the bottom line. Yes, I'm educated. I hold degrees, but that's nothing to brag about. It's just a piece of paper. But I don't think that stats are the total facts of the totality. It's just not, because facts change, information changes. So I don't believe 90% of the information based upon who's doing the research. If we look at that and identify with who's involved with that and who's controlling that, it's always going to have a bias, because whoever's putting the information in is the person that's going to give their opinion, even in the educational systems and so forth and so on. One of my constituents taught at Spelman and Morehouse for 38 years, and all they're doing now is teaching people how to get a job. They don't teach uh, as effective as it should be, because the Benet system is archaic. That's what our educational system is built on in this country. So, in my humble estimation, facts have their place, but facts are not the bottom line, because they don't cover everybody in every situation. I land my plane.
Yeah, because facts are in fact the bottom line. The only people that don't think it is are people that are anti-intellectualism, or that are a part of the anti-intellectualism movement, or are anti-intellectual themselves. Because if you didn't think that having a degree was all that and a bag of chips, then why bring the fuck up that you have multiple? Number one, and number two, when we're talking about stats, the actual people who studied the patterns and the trends in which they were did not pull those numbers out of their asses. They have been studying these trends and patterns of fucking behavior for years, for decades on end, and have been utilizing the scientific method, which part of the scientific method is to continue the research, to reconduct the experiments, to make sure that you got the accurate data from the first experiment the fucking first time, to make sure that they're giving accurate information to the fucking public. And even when new information is provided to the public, it is just an update to an already pre-existing trend, to an already pre-existing experiment, to an already pre-existing study that has been done before. So yes, facts and data are the fucking bottom line. Y'all like to make it seem as if they're not, because you don't want to believe anything bad is happening, especially when it pertains to black men and when it pertains to men overall. Because y'all would rather believe your pseudoscience and bullshit that validates your confirmation bias over the fact that there is a huge problem that is pushing certain issues and certain movements to happen, such as the 4B movement in Korea. Korean feminists have already stopped marrying, dating, and procreating with Korean men, to the point where Korean statisticians are reporting that that for the first time in over 100+ fucking years, there are no first graders in first grade classes. Their birth rate has drastically fucking dropped. And they actually, if it keeps going, because it's gotten so bad that the Korean government has started to offer financial bribes to the women to get them to sleep with Korean men, that statisticians have already shown that if the behavior keeps going, that Korea will be the first country to be wiped off the face of the fucking map. They will be the first ethnicity to go extinct. And Japan and China are right behind them.
But what you're speaking of, see, one of the problems is I respect stats. And when you tell me that I don't honor my degrees, I hold 2 doctorate degrees. I earned them. So don't tell me what I don't value in my education. Your opinion is yours.
But you can't tell me about me and my views because my studies, my research, and my travels, I'm constantly working behind the scenes to deal with issues, not just stats, number one. But number two, more importantly, we all must understand, I don't care how hard human effort is made, there's no perfection in human effort. It's just not possible. We have to give respect to the variables. So you can come up with all the statistics you want. You can't travel the entire globe. You can't study all the stats of all humanity because it's just not probable. You can do the best you can with the information that you have. It has some validity, it has some position, but it's not the totality because it's literally impossible. Nobody would agree with me saying this. Nobody. Yes, but allow. Exactly. Which lets me know that either I'm saying about the degree, the amount of degree he has, or if he I don't care. I don't care if you believe what I hold degrees in. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't move me. You know why? You don't validate my thoughts. All I'm sharing with you is my thoughts. You want to tear down my thoughts, and I won't let you do that because you don't know me. I don't know you. You don't qualify to dictate to me. You don't qualify to tell me what I am or am not. What I will say to you is this. I gave a reasonable presentation to show both of you that you can come up with all the stats and the information you want, and you're still going to be in error because no human being can cover all the stats. Stats are great in their proper place, but let's be reasonable. Stats are perfect because they're done by humans who are imperfect. Now land my mic. He said that stats were imperfect and that they were the end all be all, but what you're trying to do is devalue stats themselves. Which, by the way, nobody with an actual fucking doctorate degree that slaved in college for 4+ years to get those degrees would ever sit there and say, oh, it's nothing to be proud about, that it's just a piece of paper. Nor would they sit here and say that research that they know for a fact is based off of the scientific method, that they know for a fact that people and resources have spent years pouring blood, sweat, and fucking tears into to making sure that the data they are outputting to the public is accurate. Nobody would fucking say, oh, these don't matter or try to minimize them in any fucking way. Yet again, you're an old bitter ass man on the internet that is trying to present himself as somebody that he's fucking not, minimize the stats that you don't like. That it places people in a position where they have to take accountability for their misbehavior behavior.
Cannot breathe.
Bishop, I'm not you got two. Hold on, Bishop. Hold on. We don't want to hear that. I got you. We don't care. And I don't care what you move about. Yeah. Nobody cares. You know what I'm
This
Speak your mind. The thing that fact of brothers, you landed your back.
no pussy from them, bro.
Information is not reality. These niggas don't ever shut the fuck up. Not saying nothing.
They don't shut the fuck up because, like I said, they think that they are right in everything because they live under a constant state of delusion.
And have nothing to add to the conversation.
Live under a constant state of delusion, which is why they only come up off the mic to argue and argue semantics. Because, like I said,
One second. Everybody,
nobody that has
stop muting people. Hold on. First of all, Bishop, you have finished and Ray Babe was rebutting you and you interrupted her and you asked me about the rules. And I said allow people to land their plane. And you were the first one to unmic and to interrupt her. I just want to highlight that if you want to sit there and talk about rules. Secondly, Ray Babe went on mute. Pub started talking to you, Bishop, but you already had interrupted Ray Babe. So Bishop, stay on mute and let Pub go ahead and finish.
So the thing, here's what I'm saying. To get a doctorate, you have to, that's what you do. You do the thing, like you have to go do the research to get a doctorate. That's what you have to do. So you're claiming you got 2 doctorates. You put like Ray Bay said, you put the blood, sweat, and tears into getting 2 doctorates just for you to get up on this panel, then minimize having a degree, and then minimize facts and stats. Nobody believes you, old man. You're a liar. And that's the thing that's sick about these discussions, is that y'all get on the internet, and this is what I'm saying. This is important. It's not even personal. I'm dead serious. This is important. So you jump up on a panel, and we are talking about something as heavy as femicide, let's say, like, right? And we're talking about all these heavy topics. You jump up on the panel, try to position yourself as an authority, right? Falsely claim that you have 2 degrees, Very elitist of you if you do, but anyways, falsely claim that you have 2 degrees, 2 doctorates, not degrees, 2 doctorates. You have more than 2 degrees to get 2 doctorates. And then you proceed to tell and say the most asinine shit I have heard since G and since that other dude was talking pretty much. Like, it makes no sense. And you're doing it to deflect. You made up this whole elaborate lie about your life just so you can come up here and minimize the effects of misogyny and the patriarchy on women and children. Like, I don't know about y'all. To me, that gotta be the sickest shit that I've like, and I see it, and we see it all the time. But it's just every time I see it, I'm like, why would you get up here and lie about that? Like, I didn't just look at your LinkedIn. Like, I didn't just put your name in, Clifton Lofton Senior. Like, you ain't got no degrees. Stop lying. Jesus Christ. Does he not? What are you? Not only does he not have any degrees, you're a sad, bitter ass old man that misquotes the Bible on the internet because what you want to be is a preacher, but you're not smart enough to actually get accepted into the fucking fold. And you use phrases like shalom in order to push yourself as this higher spiritual being and use Yah as in Yahweh for God, even though mainstream and modern Christian churches do not refer to God as Yahweh, and Shalom is fucking Hebrew, you dumb bitch. So I know for a fact that you don't have any goddamn degrees. I know for a fact that you don't have any goddamn degrees, and you're a failed scam artist, which is why you don't believe in facts and statistics, and why you were so quick to minimize having a degree in the first place. Because mind you, having 2 doctorates isn't common because it takes time and a fuck ton of money to gain those 2 doctorates. And anybody that has more than 1 doctorate will tell you that a part of getting a PhD is not only giving a graduate level thesis, but you have to be in a fucking research program and defend your thesis, defend your dissertation in order to get a master's and a fucking PhD. So I know you're lying. Because nobody in academia that actually values academia and facts and statistics would get up on a TikTok panel, brag that they have 2 degrees, then in the same breath diminish the fact that they have 2 degrees, and then say that facts and statistics essentially don't mean shit, all because you don't like what you're hearing. I just don't agree with what you're hearing. You can say what you like, and you have a right to your opinion. One thing I will not do is debate your opinion about me. You know why? I don't have to. I said what I did. You can make all the sarcastic expressions you want. I won't lose any sleep about it. You don't know me. You have no clue about me. You can pull up all the information you want. Here's what I want you to do. When you are ready, come in. And allow. Hold on. Allow me to Google him though. Who would Google somebody? Repeat for question, please do not ask me. See, the beauty of me saying what I did. That is diabolical. Repeat for question. Allow me to finish. You can do all the research you want. You're not going to get all the information on me because I don't publicize all of it. One thing I will say to both of you, it's amazing how when someone challenges you, how you try to tear them down, but you know, you can say what you want about it. Hey man, shut your stupid ass up. I don't respect you. I don't respect the liars. You already lost all my respect. I don't care. I don't care. It does. Stop trying to sound like you motherfucking I don't care. When they don't know I go out there, nigga, fuck you and your face free, nigga. How about that? The interesting thing about your mouth, you tore yourself down when you came up here lying. It shows the quality of your ignorance and your lack of character because I'm not ignorant. Yes, you're being very. I was like, I don't. So what? Look, so what? Everybody up here got a LinkedIn. No, listen, if you got a LinkedIn, no, I don't listen. What's one of the most? I don't think it's on your LinkedIn. Your education. Free. You're free. On your LinkedIn, you're trying to get a job. You're trying to promote yourself on LinkedIn, a professional platform. You're not going to put your degrees. You stupid. Why they keep getting you? This is crazy. I'm about to drop. Listen, here's the thing, right? On this app, I have never Googled somebody before. The fact that this man. Okay, you're about to drop. Let me just drop you. You know I don't do that. You announce you're going to drop, I drop you. Anybody announce they're going to drop, I drop them. Hold on.
First of all, this is a debate panel, so you gotta have thick skin over here. Secondly, you cannot say what you want to say and then run. So once you say I'm going to drop, I just drop you. Okay. Another thing is, Maz, we gotta see who is this troll. If people with 0 followers, block them. If you have 0 followers, you're getting blocked. Because some people are just trying to report everyone on their panel standing on business. I'm getting tired of it. So if you have the 0 followers, you're getting reported. And once I find out who's reporting, I will block you. Just like
It's like they don't even really have
okay
intellectual
now,
debates. They just go back and forth over the same points that really don't prove you're smart. It just proves you read a book. You read it somewhere. That doesn't prove you're smart. You read that somewhere. You didn't actually go through the information and come to a concise idea of what's really going on. Like you used one bit of that's all you read. That's all. That's the only thing you did was look at a stat sheet. That's the only thing you did was look at a stat sheet. You didn't look at the full.
I certainly think so for the black community, the BOK community, because our women, ever since I would say I don't know what generation the one was before this one were but like our women of this generation, my generation, I'm in my 20s right now. I'm 23 years old. They don't cherish marriage. I had to marry outside of my race because our women don't cherish marriage. I had to marry an Asian woman because our BOK women don't cherish or value marriage. Yeah, second one, women aren't equal to men. I disagree. I think it depends. Like I said, again, this goes into the BOK community. I think other women can, equate to men. They actually do want to be, on a higher level. They don't look at stuff from a feminine kind of, role. I think that, if a woman wants something for herself, she's not going to compare herself to a man from the start anyway. I feel like women who try to compare themselves to men, they're weak. They lack something, or they're just insecure in general. Because it should never be about this. It should just be about becoming, a better version of yourself. I don't think I would never compare myself to a woman. I just think that's weak even for a man to do such. Like I don't know. That's all I will say.
Okay, expound on the first one. What you talk about, like you're not able, that black women don't want to get married. What do you mean by that?
Just like I said, they don't. They want to seem hard to get. They want to play like they're so hard, or they have these high standards. But that's okay because the other ethnicities, like I said, I don't go for white women either. I don't go for white tea women. But that's okay because all the other ethnicities of women, they go and scoop the high value BOK men, not these low life BOK men, but the high value gentlemen, financially secure, who have degrees. I myself have a bachelor's degree, so I wouldn't want to go for these, low life BOK women who, have, like I said, multiple baby daddies. They got themselves pregnant in high school, and didn't even finish college. So I could care less because those are the women that are considered the ones that they're not married. You can't marry these kind of women because they have kids already. I just think it's a disgrace to the BOK community because it hurts the BOK men and setting that foundation for the BOK women. I grew up having both parents in the house. My mom and dad, his sister. They're still together. My parents have been together for about 25 years now. So just I look at it as a disgrace of our generation of BOK women because it's just like, man, I don't see myself with a BOK woman that long because I applaud my dad because
And you're black.
He took care of
Black.
So okay, poetic. I want to make one statement here.
So, both of your parents are black.
Yes, but I want to make a point here. So when I look at my mother, right, I look for qualities in my mother that I do, that I'm trying to look for, what I was looking for in a marriage, but I'm married already, but that I did look for, and you don't see any of those qualities. Like, I don't know, I think, poetic, you seem like you're my mom's age, probably, like near that category. These women now, they don't, they don't value, they don't have any values. I'm not speaking for every BLK woman, but I'm saying that's the majority. They don't value anything. They don't value relationship. They don't have respect for themselves. And these qualities that you saw in our parents growing up, the other ethnicities of women, they hold those standards and, values now. The Asian community, like, you don't see them doing all this, getting pregnant teenage years and just with multiple baby daddies. Like, they look at it as disgraceful. The parents, they just own the kids when they do that kind of stuff. So I think it's just an American kind of thing. Like, with the Hispanic community, they're the same way.
Wait,
the white community the same way. The Asian women and the Indian women, they have the value.
Age group that acts unhinged or acts this way?
I just think it's the BLK community in general. Like I said, my parents' generation, they didn't grow up like that because I saw what right looked like. But these other women, like just now, like you said, it could be a generational thing, but I think it's just and it doesn't even matter about your upbringing because my dad, he grew up, not in the best environment. He went on to get his master's degree. My mom got her bachelor's degree. I got my bachelor's degree. They sent both kids to college. I got, and then, we're both successful now. So that's all I would say. It's a disgrace to the BLK community. Like, I had to marry outside my own ethnicity. What do you mean? I didn't hear that.
Can Cam up?
No.
Last man.
No, I'm fine.
I ask you that every time you come up.
I'm fine, but that's all I will say now.
Talking shit from your marriage room, and probably with your active duty. I know for a fact you're not talking shit from your marriage room.
Ma'am, I'm married. I live in a house. My wife is like
married to a Filipino or an Asian woman, I think.
Especially because as somebody who was also former Navy, because you're wearing your Navy uniform in your picture, and I can easily find out what fucking base you're on, you goofy ass goober nigga. Oh, you stupid as shit for wearing your Navy uniform in your profile picture because you technically aren't even supposed to have it. That's the crazy part.
Please say, okay?
I'm policing the panel. Hold on, I got something to say. Ray Day already. Let's not say the N word. Let's say nigga. Let me address something. Tyler comes up here and trolls every day, and last time I went off on him, so now he want to try to shade me, knowing that I'm not his mama's age. But he's mad. Tyler, I don't know what's up with you, but you don't gotta get in your feelings, Tyler, and try to shade me. Just remember, my panel, I allow people to stand on business. Even though they cooked you and I had to go off on you last time, I still let you come up. So don't be trying to throw shade at me. Let's tap the screen.
I think, Tyler, if you ever get a chance, you might want to play this. You might want to look into this. And let this shit breathe a little bit. Hey, because here's the thing.
Raccoon.
Oh, raccoon, I'm sorry. Hey, because here's the thing. The craziest thing is saying saying that you married your wife because so you didn't marry your wife because you loved her. You married her because every black woman you met rejected you and you knew you never had a shot. That was it. You know what? It'd be funny how they be trying to shade black people all the time and they try to shade black women or whatever. And then in the midst of doing that, they end up just exposing how much of a goober they are. Like you just told on yourself. You literally, I ain't even got to make nothing up. You just got up there was just like, hey, you know what? The reason I ain't with a black woman is because none of them ever liked me, so I had to settle for this Asian woman.
Not on my
I want you to make sure that you tell me I want you to make sure this.
Your spot on the computer that the black women did not like him.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
They
Go ahead. We know that first. I got to say. This nigga for 2 seconds and already know he gonna stand a chance.
Black women don't like me, so I I've never talked to him. That's not how that works.
This nigga would never stand a chance with me.
You said they didn't like me. You
Qualified to be talking to black women.
Sir, you're lying. You said in high school and college they did not go for you. You said that. Literally, I have a clip of it. You literally said
Never said that.
Oh my gosh, now he's lying. Mom,
I'm not going to listen to them because, especially with these black men, as somebody who is also who's a former active duty military, who is a veteran, I got out of the military, specifically the Navy, last year. Same branch, all Tyler is in here. I'll tell you one thing's for sure and two things for motherfucking certain. Those black men in particular, they have a high rate of marrying Asian women because that's the only demographic of women that will take them. Especially, and I guarantee you, as somebody who has done this from experience, a lot of those women start out as strippers. They'll be talking on these panels, talking about how much they hate 304, this, that, and the third, and they'll either be strippers or those women have boyfriends back home, and these men end up being divorced 2 years later, crying about how much and shit never will be shit because they got scammed.
I'm married at 18, so you know what? That makes sense. If you're 23 and you've been married for 5 years, right? That's your high school sweetheart. So, so it gets deep, right? So, and this is what they be saying. That's what so it makes sense if y'all think about it, right? He was in high school, in junior high school. He was a nerd. They wasn't checking for him. I can see that happening. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you gotta grow into your Uber. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta get older.
Not necessarily. Because I mean,
hold on. Let me finish. You gotta grow into your Uber sometimes. Sometimes you gotta he probably was insecure about being a goober. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta own the fact you a goofy ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get to that point. He fell in love or whatever. You can't even say he settled for this because she was a girl at the time. Because he just, he was a little horror dog, little horny little high schooler. Fell in love with his high school sweetheart. I respect it. The thing that I don't like though is you retroactively trying to go back and be like you deliberately chose an agent. No, you didn't. You just got with some girl when you was 18 years old or whatever, 17 years old because you couldn't get nobody else and you married her and it ended up working out for you. Congratulations. That's fine. But trying to shame black women now because when you were in junior high school and high school they didn't check for you, my nigga, that's crazy. That shit don't. That's disgusting.
But what makes it funny as hell is that black men love to throw out this statistic talking about, oh my god, black women are the least likely to be married. They have the highest divorce rates out of any racial demographic when they're compared to other men. They're also the least married. And then on top of that, like I said, they're the highest divorce. So they're getting divorced at 2 times the rate than any other male in a racial demographic. So they're like throwing that stat out as if they're not in the same position. And then further fucking more, only 38% of black men within the community have ever been married. Over 50% have never made it down the aisle. So it's only a teeny tiny, small ass demographic of black men that have ever been married. If y'all are so superior. Y'all trying to throw up this stat as if y'all are just out here banging bitches left and right. And the sad reality is, y'all in the same motherfucking boat because the rest of the world is also just as deeply anti-black as it is misogynistic, and they don't like you Negroes either.
Okay.
I will say this: I have accomplished way more in my military. 23-year-old EOK male with a bachelor's degree, married to an Asian woman with a master's degree.
Carter, hold on, we gotta do that. Welcome up, Nabby. Kim, did you want to respond to anything you heard?
What's going on there? I'll address the problem then. If I can. Marriage will be a thing of the past. It already is. We want marriage. We want it. We want the allure of it. We want it. Like there's certain things about marriage that absolutely is anti-woman and anti-freedom woman. majority of this whole not to the point of children. And we see how as they begin to abandon their children willingly, there's a benefit. What is the benefit of marriage? We want it for ourselves because men most definitely benefit from marriage more. We typically live longer, we typically earn more, we typically are actually happier and more focused inside when we are married or in a relationship with a woman. On the other side, that's not the same for women. But they typically are alive sooner. They typically deal with a lot of stress and health problems when they're married. So it's going to be a thing of the past because we haven't adjusted and evolved. Women are no longer going back to being barefoot in the kitchen. We don't know how to evolve to make marriage more attractive, more equitable. What? The second one is women are
barefoot in the kitchen. That's what you think women are doing.
in 2025.
You think
They are actually better. Women are actually better than at this point. We had the opportunity to be equal to them, but now we've allowed to first take the back seat and allow them to get the sphere and everything. The only thing that we need now and then is violence, greed, corruption, depravity, death. As long as we are women to be the barometer and the arrow to show us our humanity. We always, like when it comes to the Bible, right? For women, the Bible is there. For me, the Bible is scripture. So yeah, at this point, if there's any ounce of humanity left on this planet, we have to look at women. We have to look to women to see love is and what humanity is, empathy, mercy, and faith, grace. When you hear a man have empathy, you hear a man with humanity, a man who is gentle, and he provides a safe space for women and children who call themselves, call them panthers, who call them rainbow, because we don't even know how that feels to provide such a safe space for women and children. I mean, like safety in this world, right? Like, it's still a man. I don't know how to push on people. That's how we are. We have to treat people the same as all. But if you look on the street, you don't know him. You know, a man like this, they told you so. You know, that's some stupid shit. So, yeah, women have to be because we have to get money. She makes us better than anyone else does. Because the money goes, we say it now, money is can be gone. Just like we trusted that I'll be honest, a lot of the time when he was definitely saying that he was shouting black women were not children. Exactly. What you said, man, I don't know if that was what you said. It's right there. That's why this is why you said that you didn't fuck black women again because they was going after the bad boys. They was going after the guys that were good. They didn't look to you. They wanted to look to you. You were going after the good guy. Now we hear and found out that they made the right choice. You know, they made the right choice. Like, we always made sure what I'm saying, right? You know, we should, again, this is why they didn't kill him. This is why they didn't do the single mothers that also lose their children. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you see, here's the thing. After we adopt free from slavery, it is they have that these girls don't want to be females. Because the only thing that you would turn out to be is a teenager. Even if a baby daddy as a teenager. I'm a successful POA man now in the military. That's really great. Single mothers and baby mamas. Some women don't have kids. The birth rate is going down drastically in the black community, right? Like white women are now, yeah, put their own hopes of a single. Yeah, again, man, like, hey, I'm not mad at you. I'm not even sad for you. You are caricature. I think this is going to continue to go on because he keeps commenting with the gentleman. He's not speaking on the topic anymore. That's just my observation. Tyler, how come I don't know, man, because I know it's about to get tender this nigga. So, I mean, like, there's anger. Literally lying to everyone. Shame single mom because they so that's their way to get back at them. Like, haha, now it's more about this though. I'm not okay. You said what's the other Tyler? These BOK women, they wanted to go for the flashy, guys with the dreads in high school, but these same guys they went for it, right? In prison, not doing shit with their lives, and other BOK. See, and all the time.
Jump to another page.
Last year. Everything. I was even for 9 years. He don't have no fucking rank on his chest, which lets me know he's freaking below, which means he just guy who can't just. What the fuck is doing? He does, Tyler. He gave you the same stupid, dusty, dummy ass for everything you were through. You were special. You were a part of the 1
population that joined the U.S. military, huh? And no, you're not E4 because if you were, you'd have one chevron on your chest because they let you wear the chevron before you get paid. So I already know you're lying. So go ahead, stop the lies. They told you you was special, huh? Because you were the 1% of the U.S. population that decided to join, huh? Aw, they told you you was going to get all sorts of bonuses, that life was going to be great. They told you a bunch of half lies and bullshit to make sure you would sign that fucking contract and be sent up north for the government for 4 years. Got your ass. That's why you think you're successful. You let your recruiter lie to you. He got you to sign that bullshit contract that says that you are now property of the U.S. government for the next 4 years.
He signed the same thing.
But I'm so sorry. I hate to break it to you. You are still not special for marrying that lady, buddy. I'm so sorry. You're not special. You're not special for that. So motherfuckers marry women with their foreign or not to get out the barracks. You're not special. Like I said, I was in for 9 years. You're not a rescue swimmer either. I hate it. I was in for 9 years. I know the lies that you under E4 and E4 Mafia likes to tell on the internet. I know. Look, you think you're special? You're not. I know all of it. You're not gonna fool me. I'm so sorry. You and that Mustang that you about to owe 50 grand on ain't gonna get up here and impress nobody.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Let's go to M. M, you can respond to anything you've heard and answer the first two.
Yeah, so I was going to answer the prompt. Marriage will soon be a thing of the past. I don't think marriage is going to be a thing of the past. I think even though it might be declining in the West for various reasons, financial, cultural reasons, etc., kind of first world problems, we're always going to have a segment of the population that's capable of willing to get married. I think that anybody who's alluding to any other reason for why people are getting married is just shifting the blame away from personal responsibility. If you're not getting married, it's either you don't want to, or you're just not a marriageable partner, and you have to put in more work in yourself to be that type of person. So and that goes for both men and women. Just be more marriageable, and marriage rates will go up, and find a partner. But if you're not capable of doing so, don't blame anybody else or the environment or whatever. Blame yourself. Women aren't equal to men. Well, of course, women are equal to men. I think it's a stupid thing to say. If that woman could be, to suggest that woman could be anything other than equal to men, I think the only caveat is that women have a different value to men in different situations, different contexts. You can find different values to each gender, but we are equal for the most part. I think anybody who says differently is either misogynist or whatever the other word is. I don't have a plan.
All right. Okay, no problem. 1 second. Let's go to the next new guest. Big local. Big. Okay.
Yeah, marriage will soon be a thing of the past. And I'm speaking as for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah, like trying to act like I didn't have a point with the proximity to each other, and then mentioning that that was the number two reason for what the stat. I'm like, you're being disingenuous with your facts and your data. It's just you get up here and you say all these statistics and you don't even really know where they come from and you don't even understand the true intricacies of it. You don't understand what's really going on.
Hey, thank you. Ooh.
I don't know what happened to the camera. Gone.
It seems like we could see what you in the gym once you get to waiting. You got to help us. That's what it seems like. That's why I was happy to see that.
There we go. So, just happened. You know what?
You know, things like that, it's not giving them the right message of the support to Black women when they make it. That's it. That's what I'm saying. It's a conversation. So like put out. Yeah, see, they don't Black women. That a whole thing for they have a respond. No, look it up.
My bad, y'all. We back. See, oh, I didn't even see if y'all can hear me. How long I've been live? Not that long. So since Vanya's birth, his parents deposit as many coins into the bank. Watching the highlights. We got the. Okay. Now there are 21 coins in the bank. Jamal Mashburn. I don't got no Mashburn. Mash on. Okay, so y'all can't hear it. That's good.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is this: I'm not gonna have a conversation with somebody that watch TV and get all their news from TV and TikTok. The stats are the stats. If you want somebody to prove it, Google it. Goddamn it,
He's going to.
prove it to yourself. Why somebody gotta do your homework for you? If you come on a panel and you spew some bullshit out, you can't back it up. All I'm gonna say is you don't have the opposite side of that shit that you heard from the girl.
Catch in on the conversation. This is the we're documenting conversations that's happening on the internet between women and men.
I don't know, Petty. You tricky.
Mostly black women and men, and this is why racism still exists, because you don't have this type of rhetoric allowed in any other group. They're not doing all of this.
Don't just speak the lie because they're afraid of what that gut is going to say to them.
We'll hop on panel soon. Right now we just listening. I should put a banner up there to say panel. Yeah, I'm gonna get some graphics put up here. Panel.
And I just want to clarify that for you.
Okay, so just to clarify, right? Honey, I don't know how old you are, sweetie, but I'm 44. So I am fine.
44.
Wait, I kind of feel like shit afterwards. Shit, talent. Okay, hold on. So
I got something to eat.
Feel like shit, but not really, because I ain't never like really used it, towards as a point. But like I said, I understood why you said that, because the industry will have us thinking that. Not the TV, magazines, all that shit. Yeah. Have us thinking like, damn, he done came up. Now he would.
I mean, that was just my opinion. I was willing to listen to what he had to say, and that's the part that he didn't get. I'm willing to listen to other people's perspectives too.
Can I say what my was? No, because like
that other lady's voice was annoying too. I could not stand that.
That's the first time
that bitch was annoying.
Like everybody can tell you, I don't like statistics. I don't like none of that shit.
I'm proud of that. That's good. That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. That there are 2 millionaires on this panel. One who has the most beautiful wife I ever seen.
Okay, that's good. It makes me feel better. I want that for the black community.
It didn't give me hope because I don't want to.
That's what you want to hear. Like this. Listen to what they're talking about.
To the man who spoke, but I'm just so lost at how an adult male can sit there and say like, y'all want us to make more money. Y'all know we only make $40,000 a year. This is unrealistic. See, this is what's crazy to me. You don't care about degrees, and then you wonder why you only make $40,000.
Who makes $40,000 a year? What?
The men who come up here and say, "Oh, I got 2 doctor's degree," but in the same breath say, "That ain't nothing but a piece of paper." The things that y'all are trying to devalue are the reason why y'all are so low on the totem pole. My thing is, it's not unrealistic to want your partner to do what they are fully capable of doing. If I can make $80,000-$90,000 a year, so can you. It's just a matter of what
you can do that without a degree. I do it right now without a degree, making 90 plus a year. And now I'm getting into social media and online. I'm about to be making 160 plus by the end of next year. That's what I'm projecting myself to make by the end of next year. With my remote positions that I carry, my licenses that I carry, my businesses that I carry, and now I'm expanding into online, expanding into, marketing and other different types of income. Now I'm going to be able to do this and I don't even have to use my degree.
The bride's family.
Like that's it. And having a degree, turn them down. Having a degree does not guarantee you intellectualism. It does not guarantee you common sense. It does not guarantee you financial security. It does not guarantee you any of the things that you're trying to value it up to be. You're inflating the value of what you're claiming is doing all of these things for you. Now, yes, you may get some more money. You may be able to work in the system that was put over us to keep us down, to keep you at a salary and keep you limited on your income. When you don't have that person over you telling you how much you can get paid, how much you can make, that's when you can really flex. But a lot of y'all can't do that. A lot of y'all going to the white man waiting for that promotion, waiting for that raise. No, if I were to give myself a raise, I'm gonna quit this job and I'm gonna go to this other job that pays more. Okay? I'm gonna use my experience and the things I learned from everywhere else I have. If I need to use a degree, I can use that. But guess what? A lot of them don't even really check for you. They don't come to put their finger on, and I got a position and dig under them boxes from you moving 6 or 7 times and give me your degree. Go. If you got it a plaque on the wall. If you got it on the wall, I guess you can show it. But a lot of people don't have it like that. A lot of companies don't care. They want you to know that you can do the work. The degree doesn't prove you can actually succeed in the company and do the work and stay with the company. So there is just this misconception of these touting a degree over someone or over something or overvaluing it and then claiming someone's devaluing it when they're just stating what it is. It's just a piece of paper that says you completed this certification. I can go and get all tons of certificates, all tons of licenses, and I can make more starting out right out of high school. I can go get a insurance license. I can go and get a real estate license. I can go and get a notary license. I can go and get you know actual license to at least be in the rooms of other lawyers and apprentice. There's apprenticeships. There's all types of things you can do. There's intern, the staff. Once you got that, you had to now you kind of have to be like, oh yeah, the research is helpful. Oh yeah, you should get one too. Now you got to tell other people to go get what you did, go do what you did, so that you can feel more confident in what you're doing. Which I can't really stand that level of argument because it really you're proving your confirmed bias already that I already had in my head. Like, oh you went to the military. Oh you went. You did that. Oh, okay. Oh, you feel like you completing school, which we all completed school. A lot of us completed. You feel like that held you at a higher level, a higher intellectual level than the next person? No, it doesn't. You were able to go and read some books and regurgitate information that they gave to you and do it well enough to score and pass whatever they consider passing is, because I don't even know what the grading scale is nowadays. But, you did that. Congratulations. That's good. You completed it. Most of us have. Those that haven't, then, if they hold a degree or a GED or a high school diploma, if they have a skill, trade. See, I work for a company where we all have degrees, but the CEO doesn't have one. Notice how crazy that is. We all have degrees that work for the CEO who doesn't have one, who has a high school diploma. I work for companies that the CEO, the owner, dropped out of school, dropped out of high school. And you would these same black women would talk to that white man, be like, oh, he's a high value, he's a white man, he got money, he doing his thing. Oh, black man, you can't do this, you can't do this. And it's like, what? You really want to dig in deeper the wound that was put into you and your own black men because you're hurt? You want to put in, I'm going to get back on here. You want to put in a deeper wound. I don't advertise that. I definitely don't advertise that. So I don't know where she getting that from. But it's like women like that, men don't fuck with at all. Listen to how she's, y'all coming up here and you hear that shit? Like what? What are you doing? A lot of these women, they are they're possessed with their past traumas and maybe things they've went through. They are possessed with that energy and that because they feel like because they had to tell a man off this time, they're gonna have to keep doing it. And there are a lot of men who step out of line. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But you don't know me. So you addressing me like I, tore down your world and made you a miserable woman is crazy. It looks crazy to anybody. So it's like you're reading these statistics, you're getting this information, and backing up, instead of backing up and saying, "Hey, wait a minute, let me look at these stats and let me actually go into the communities and see how these stats are playing out." Okay. Hmm. Okay. Black men, black women, you know, unalive rate is more than any other race. Why is that? Instead of just announcing that at the hills and saying, this is a big problem. This is so mad. This is, what are we going to do? No. And then walking down and getting back on your little panel conversations. And then going back on your TikTok and maybe do a funny post, maybe scroll through something funny, and then maybe go to work the next day and talk to white people all day. maybe go to your military job, you're retired, or you got disability, and you're probably not doing nothing with your degrees. It sounds like you're not doing shit with your degrees. But I mean, if you took out disability from the military and you're getting literally a handout for joining the white man and whatever he wanted you to do for those 9 years. God knows what you did for those 9 years. You might have allowed some innocent people for those 9 years, but you want to get up here and talk to us like we're doing something to you. What capacity and what multifaceted way are black men mobilizing against white black women? In what way are we planning this out? Are we doing this deliberately? No, we're not. Clearly, there are factors and there are things that are causing this phenomenon happening. If you do see it so, uh, you know, just we got to do something about it. If you really want to do something about it, you would be at a position not of blaming people in a situation and trying to use it as a weapon. Don't necessarily think me, okay? Not my skin color, maybe my facial feature, maybe my attitude, I don't know. But you're not offhand saying, oh, black person in my head, Garzan. Like you're not If maybe like mixed, maybe light skin, you might put picture me, but that's fine. I don't care. We all look a certain way. Like, what the fuck you gonna do about it? Nothing. So it's weird, but anyway, when you're getting that statistic and you're pulling that data from whatever source you're pulling it from, you are understanding. If you're not understanding, it's crazy, but you should be understanding that that stat is coming from a very questionable source. Okay? These are the same people who use statistics and crime data statistics and to try to devalue and dehumanize black people. Okay? They try to devalue, and we're not saying that the stats aren't true. Okay? But we are saying that it's not the truth. Okay? It's true that you read that stat. It's true that you read that, and it's true that that entity may have did the numbers and crunched those numbers and came up with that. That can all be true. Okay? All of that can be true what you're saying. What the issue is that the reasons of those reporting those stats and the things that occurred through time that created these stats is what everybody seems to just say, hey, no, we're not going to pay attention to that. We're not going to look at how we've literally infiltrated the entire, like as far as the black community goes, has been infiltrated entirely. Okay, you weren't seeing these unalignments happening at so rapidly in the within the black community, within us, when we were all together and we were by ourselves. We were building Wall Street, we were building Tulsa, we were building Rosewood, we were building Wilmington, we were building everything. You didn't see that. So right now you have a situation that if you're not going to actually pay attention to the solution, if you're not actually going to be a proponent for what is needed to, eradicate that statistic, then you're just part of the problem. You're just saying, hey, yeah, black men are this, black men are that, black men are this, black men are that, and you're the essential tool for the white supremacists. That is you bringing out this information, and not just bringing it out as a stat, but using it as a weapon to try and antagonize and attack black men, because the majority of black men aren't committing those crimes. You're talking about less than a half of a percent of the population of black men. There are 10, 15 million, maybe more black men in the entire United States right now. Maybe 20, close to 20. We're at least half the population. So it's a good 20 to 21, maybe up to 25, because I would say there's a good 60 million black Americans, period. Uh, Given the statistical errors with margin of error when you say 43, 45 million, but I would say in every state and in every county and every corner of zip code that there are black people there that, number one, don't take the census, number two, are misrepresented in a way where you look like me and maybe you were told that you were mixed, and you accept your white side more. Maybe you were told something, like you have a lot of things that can go down and run down. People do misidentify. People do misidentify themselves. That's the whole point of margin of error. So when you really look at it and you really think about and you see the dysfunction in this community rate at an enormous rate. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. And if you think it is, then what what are you doing? Are you going to go around and stop every black woman from being with a black man, they get together at an 87% rate, probably 90. It's black people are attracted to black people. I'm sorry, nothing you can do about it. So it's like, why are you even bringing this up? Like, these are case by case situations. They're handled that way. Some of them are false accusations. A lot of them don't always go make it to court. A lot of them don't even get convicted. And then if it's a smurder, as far as DV, if it's a smurder, you know, we see what really goes on. I've seen what really goes on in these communities and black people do. You want to talk to somebody and know, talk to me, I'll let you know. When it comes to any type of unalivement happening in a home, in a black home, I'm guaranteeing you it wasn't just, oh, I got mad because you're a woman and I just unalived you as a man. No, that's never the case. I promise you that's never the case. And to think that that is the case is almost as bad as referring to black people as apes and monkeys. Like it's almost as bad as that. It's probably I would say it's right up there to think that because a man is a man or a black man is a black man that he unalived his black woman wife because she was black. What? A black woman? What? No. I'm pretty sure there was a dispute. I'm pretty sure there was an argument. I'm pretty sure there was probably retaliation. I'm pretty sure it may not have been a justifiable thing. Murder hardly ever is. And taking someone's life is hardly ever a justifiable thing, rather, unless they are attacking you or unless they were, putting you in harm's way. So I've seen it on both sides. I've seen it on both sides, and I would say, yeah, majority of men are going to be involved in those situations because they're going to be singled out already. You're already singled when if it's a woman calling 911 saying her husband's attacking her or her boyfriend or whatever, they're going to side with the woman. Even if it's a man that calls 911 and says her girlfriend is attacking him, they're still going to side with the woman, especially if your woman's of a another descent. So it's like, what are they going to what are you going to say next? Like, we're 3/5 of a human now. Black men are 3/5 of. Is that what you're going to say next? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, and that's why the guy brought up in the conversation. He was like, well, poverty has a real factor. He was just bringing up things that were affecting that. And what did she do? She didn't say, yes, you're right, poverty. Da, da. No, she said, no, you're wrong. It's not number one. It's not the reason. It's not that. It's you just are just ignorant. You don't read stats and da 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 da. Like going in on them over nothing. Like not a damn thing you talking about. Like you're not talking about a damn thing. All you're doing, all you're doing essentially is saying, "Oh, it's not the number one reason; it's the number two." And all I said was, he said, proximity and poverty. He added in proximity with every other race group attacks each other at the same rate. That's a known fact. If you're around them, we're not primarily around. There's no higher propensity of us because of our blackness. That's all he was saying. Now she attacked him. She attacked him the very same way. She attacked him over that. Let's hear him.
How about you just say, I want to be married, I want companionship, but I don't have it simply because the men that I want are not looking at me in that way.
Oh, I gotta get the highlights back up. My bad, John.
Nothing wrong saying you desire this, but the man of your dream haven't stepped up to the plate. Are you done? Okay, so now let me start from the top. Let me start from the top.
There we
I
go.
have absolutely no reason to come on here and try to lie and pretend to be somebody I'm not. I expect any man with your mentality to not believe that a woman could be celibate because y'all don't have any type of dimension to your thought process.
In your head, everything is black and white and everything. Yeah, I'm about to explain that to you, Jerry. I know you struggling. In your mind, everything is one dimensional, black and white, one lane, straightforward. I get that. First of all, your rant was so irrelevant because I never said that, never implied that, never inferred that. I still, to this moment right now, even after you said all that, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know who you thought you heard, who you responded to. I don't know who you thought you heard or who you responded to, but it's not me. I don't know what you're talking about. So that just went over my head, first of all. Second, I'm not going to sit here and try to prove whether I'm celibate or not, because that's neither here nor there. That was completely beside my point. My point was, how can you say that you're not buying what we're selling and you're tired of us, but yet you go on this whole rant basically saying like what you see is what you get. We can't do any better. All we make is $40,000 a year. That's y'all want us to make more. That's unrealistic. That was my whole point. I don't know nothing about not wanting men no more and all this. I don't know what you're talking about. However, my point still stands. Obviously, we are tired of settling. We are tired of settling with the people that are just saying, all we make is $40,000 a year, accept it. In 2025, $40,000 a year, that's 2-3 months of money right now. Look it up. That's nothing. Nobody can function like that. So if y'all are saying that y'all don't care about women making money, y'all don't care about them having education, but you're okay with only making $40,000, why would I marry somebody who doesn't want me to know anything or have any money, but also wants me to live with them off of $40,000 a year? I'm not doing it. I can't even pay attention. I can't even afford to pay attention with that, which is why you NIGGASs can't pay attention.